keep an eye out for that. If it's up already, and we've already opened it up to the public, I'll include the credentials and whatnot for that below. Ooh, dead man's. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. Okay. Why won't you stop? Oh my god. We almost went off. Holy cow. Alright, well, luckily the valley is dry and we're still doing okay there. I don't know why it was like impossible to get that thing into reverse. Hello everyone and welcome to a new Crap Artist series called Survive the Flood. We're going to be playing the wonderfully cruel and heavily modified BeamNG. Our challenge will be to pit real cars made by modders around the world against the infamous Flood Escape Crater. We will be traversing a circular track that slowly climbs in altitude as the ground beneath us is rapidly flooded with the car-destroying water. Which cars can make it to the top of the crater and escape the rising water? Which cars are too slow, too fragile, or too unlucky to survive? In this series, I will be working through a list of over 100 modded cars, all representing real-world vehicles. I will attempt to keep the vehicles as realistic as possible in my search for the true king of the crater. Welcome back for another episode of Real Cars Surviving the Flood. Today we have one of my all-time favorites, a mid-late 90s BMW 850. And this thing is just an absolute thing of beauty. You get the full pillarless window experience when those go down. And of course you have one of my favorite features on any car, pop-up headlights, which are absolutely amazing. Now, another funny thing about this design characteristic, these are the only pop-up headlights to my knowledge. Actually, there's probably a handful more that I'm just not aware of right now, where there is a piece of hood in front of the opening. Now, this had to be done for crash test regulations or whatever. Headlights had to be a certain height. And based on this long, sweeping line of the nose, where these headlights would have normally gone a few inches forward, would have left them a little too low to pass regulations. So they had to push them back and make this really unique hood that has two cutouts on either side. Now, like a Firebird, for example, is just going to have an L-shape or a square-shaped cutout in the corner of the hood there, which is a much easier manufacturing process. This takes a lot more effort. So, of course, that's the way BMW went. Our speed is set to 2. Our levels are at default, and we're ready to rock. So, wish us luck. Schnell! Oh, I'm going to have to turn off traction control. I just know that's going to be a nightmare. Ooh, we got some nice pop and bang tunes straight from the factory here. Oh, baby. This is such a beautiful car. Now that we have that annoying electronic nanny off, we can really lean into her. Ooh. I have wanted one of these for a long time, but the maintenance required, and it's just not a good idea. Also, they're getting harder and harder to find, so as a result, they're getting more and more expensive. Never been a big BMW nut, but this, I think, is one of the coolest cars, full stop. So BMW's got to get some props for that. It does sound like a Thompson machine gun randomly popping off behind us. Maybe I should have used an example of a German gun, but I'm not really a gun guy, I couldn't tell you. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Ooh. Lord, she cruises, dudes. Dudes and dudettes. Alright, here's our first real test of dirt. I'm gonna go easy because I don't want to smash up our tires or suspension. No problem at all there. No problem at all. I like it. all but guarantee we're gonna get a hit 100 on this bridge here. Yeah, we could have gotten like 105, 110 almost. Pulled out of it early because I got scared. Alright, blind jump into half road. Woo! Chinese New Year's going off in the back of this exhaust. Now, for those of you who are wondering when our BeamNG server will be up, by the time you're seeing this on YouTube, it may very well already be up, and you may already well know all this information. But we plan to run that server real cars only. Now, I have been curating a huge list of modded cars, and you can bet you'll see this one on that server. Opened it up to the public. I'll include the credentials and whatnot for that below. Dead man's. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. Okay. Why won't you stop? Oh my god. We almost went off. Holy cow. Alright, well, luckily the valley is dry and we're still doing okay there. I don't know why it was like impossible to get that thing into reverse. I'll have to put a little asterisks. How the hell do you say that word? Asterisk near this time because I spun out pretty badly. Maybe one day I'll redo it for a better time. That is assuming I finish this at all. Gets sketchier every time. Oh, there's that hole. Avoided that nicely. Oh crap, we're in the wet. Yep, I always forget that if you give it too much throttle in the wet, you can get all cattywampus and nail a tree like we did in Brian O'Connor's Supra. Alright, now I believe we're... Yep, Fast Rocks section here. Ooh, baby. We are cruising! Don't know why it's just doing that now, that doesn't make any sense. For some reason. So I own a car that does the popping and banging during downshifting. And I can tell most of the people who program exhaust notes for cars and video games that try to include a pop and bang have never driven a car with a pop and bang. Now, mine's not tuned to do it, mine just does it because of the cam, which is exactly what all these modern cars are trying to emulate. I find it silly to just dump a bunch of extra fuel into your exhaust for no reason other than just because you can. In the case of my Corvette, I don't have a choice, man. The overlap is so intense on that cam based on the way it's ground that it just it's going to let some fuel into the exhaust, and that's where you're going to get those bangs. Now, in a BMW, there's absolutely no reason for it. Kids are just doing it to look cool. It's silly. And, for the record, as I was saying, what started me on this conversation is, they don't just go at the top of the rev range. That's not how it works. They do it when you let off the gas, and you're coasting at a high RPM. Oh, we're gonna lose now. Okay, maybe not. We landed hard enough. It took a bunch of our speed off. Whatever, I'm done complaining about popping bangs. The 850 has conquered. 1021. Wow, that's a pretty good one, too. Excellent. Now, I do want to see what I did to the front of the car here on that landing. What happened there? Oh! Oh, no! I'm gonna go, I want to go look at a replay of that later, but what in tarnation? How did that happen? And I think that that this is a blinker here. We're gonna find that out in just a second. Yup, that's a blinker. What? It got very big and triangular. I guess it used to look like that. Now it looks like this. Well, despite our funky looking mustache, the 850 conquered the hill with no problems at all. Oh, although it does look like we busted out our rear suspension there, maybe. Just on this side. Yeah, maybe on both, tough to say. Either way, BMW 850 CSI, congratulations, you have defeated the flood.